My child, let the swirling currents of your mind grow still. Let the clamor of the world recede and grant me the sacred space of your undivided attention. For this moment is not like the others that have passed. It is a consecrated point in time, a threshold I have prepared for you. I have been a silent witness to the battles you believed you fought in utter solitude, my beloved. I have seen the tears that traced paths down your face in the lonely quiet of the night, each one a liquid prayer your lips could not form. I have heard the silent, aching questions that have echoed in the chambers of your spirit, questions about my presence, my awareness of your pain, and my guidance on your path. Know this with a certainty that quiets all fear. I am speaking to you now, not in a parable, not in a whisper you might mistake for the wind, but directly, spirit to spirit. An immense and holy urgency is filling the unseen realms that surround you. A tectonic shift in the spiritual landscape is already in motion, a realignment of cosmic significance, and it is crucial that you truly hear what I am about to impart, lest you miss the very revelation you have been praying for. You have spent countless hours pondering why your journey feels arrested, why the answers you seek seem to remain just beyond the horizon, why you feel a profound sense of confinement in circumstances that once offered you solace but now feel like a cage. You have looked at the life you have built and felt the walls closing in, the air growing thin. Understand this, my cherished one, for it is the key to unlocking everything that comes next. I permitted a season of sacred quietness to descend upon you. This was not a punishment to weigh you down, but a divine strategy to position you with absolute precision at the very place you needed to be. I did not step away from you. In your stillness, I drew nearer than ever before. I did not ignore the cries of your heart. I was cataloging them, feeling them with you, and preparing their answer. I did not overlook your petitions for breakthrough and direction. I was marking the perfect moment for their fulfillment. Now that moment has arrived. You must listen with an intensity that sets aside all distraction, all skepticism, all preconceived notions of how I should speak or act. Do not file this communication away for later contemplation. I have reserved this specific impartation for this exact instant, and it pertains directly to the unfolding destiny of your life. Do not perceive these as mere words on a page or thoughts in your mind. Grasp this as a direct transmission of my sovereign love and profound concern for you. You are standing on the precipice of something holy, something that directly confronts the forces of darkness and carries immeasurable value in my eternal kingdom. I cannot, and I will not remain silent while the adversary, the great deceiver, attempts to obscure your true identity and divert you from your divine purpose. I have watched the enemy's strategies long enough. Now I proclaim. And when I proclaim, my child, everything changes. Conditions that were once intractable begin to shift. Opportunities that were hidden converge and become visible. Limitations that bound you like iron chains begin to release and fall away. Your path, which has felt winding and lost, begins to align with the timeless, perfect design I conceived for you before the foundations of the world were laid. My words are for you, right here, right now. Not for a future moment when life feels easier, not for when you believe you are finally worthy or prepared, and not for when others around you finally give you their permission or affirm your calling. This word is for this precise, singular point in time. What I am about to reveal will serve as your compass, guiding you out of the wilderness of what has been and into the promised land of what I established for you before time itself began. I will not permit you to forfeit this divine opportunity through the subtle poison of hesitation. Every single moment from this point forward is laden with eternal significance, and even a brief delay, a short pause to second-guess what you know in your spirit to be true, could lead to a sorrow, a regret, a missed connection that I never purposed for you. My beloved child, I understand your deep-seated desire to remain in the perceived safety of the familiar. I see your instinct to seek comfort, to analyze every potential move, to weigh every risk with meticulous care. However, I must remind you of who you are. I did not form you to be a creature governed by fear, especially when I have already equipped you with my spirit of understanding, wisdom, and power. The opposing force is a master of disguise. It knows how to make delay appear as sagacious wisdom and how to dress hesitation in the respectable robes of caution. I am not asking you for reckless, thoughtless speed. I am calling you to immediate, unreserved trust. The events and opportunities that are now approaching on the horizon will not wait for those who are indecisive, for those who cannot choose to follow my voice over the cacophony of their own doubts and fears. The pathways I am now illuminating will only become clearer to those who take the first step forward in faith. They will remain obscured and eventually fade for those who linger in the shadows of doubt, endlessly debating the validity of the light. I have witnessed the profound cost of holding back in the lives of others whom I called, but who did not answer in their appointed time. I watched with sorrow as they forfeited their inner peace, choosing the anxiety of the known over the adventure of the unknown with me. I saw them bypass their season of divine renewal, persisting in cycles and habits that were never meant to be permanent fixtures of their lives. I will not allow that outcome for you. I love you too much to see you make that trade. This is precisely why I am speaking with such stark and undeniable clarity. You have arrived at a moment of decision, a fulcrum point of greater importance than your human mind can currently grasp. The spiritual weight of your decision to either move or delay has now fundamentally changed. But if you attune your ear to my voice right now, if you align your will with my direction, if you go where I point even when the destination is not yet fully visible, then everything in your life that has been shut, blocked, stalled, or restrained will begin to give way. You will witness the dissolution of barriers that seemed insurmountable. You will no longer feel as though you are chasing after blessings that constantly elude you. Instead, blessings will begin to chase and encompass you, because you acted with swift obedience when it mattered most deeply. There is a grand unfolding taking place in the spiritual realm, my precious one, an event far beyond what your natural senses can currently discern. This unfolding will not pause for your feelings of readiness. It will not halt to accommodate your fears. I am leading you toward what is to come, and the urgency of this period is not merely a product of your present circumstances. It is dictated by the magnitude of what will soon manifest in your life and in the world around you. I am placing you at a holy intersection, a convergence of time and eternity, where your spiritual posture and readiness will determine whether you receive the full portion of the inheritance I have designated for you. You may imagine that you have ample time, that you can prepare at your own pace. Yet, I must convey to you that the approaching era will demand a profound level of spiritual insight and decisive action, qualities that are not acquired in a flash of inspiration, but are cultivated in the soil of immediate obedience. Therefore, I prompt you now, for I see the speed at which the adversary is gathering specific distractions tailor-made to ensnare you. I see how conditions are being meticulously shaped to appear innocent, even appealing, yet their hidden purpose is to obstruct your advance at a critical juncture. I cannot allow you to walk unaware into a future that has been so carefully shaped by both my divine purpose and by opposing, malevolent influences. The destiny I anticipate for you requires you to be linked to me with an intimacy and a reliance you have never known before. If you are not firmly and deeply rooted in me now, you will be unsettled, shaken, and possibly uprooted when the winds of challenge and change grow stronger. I am telling you with love and firmness that certain bonds, relationships, environments, and habitual practices in your life now require your immediate release. This is not because they are all inherently evil or harmful, but because they are fundamentally incompatible with the new territory into which I am leading you. They are the weights of the old season, and they cannot be carried into the new. The preparation I am calling you into is not a vague spiritual exercise. It is intentional, strategic, and surgical. I am sharpening your insight, turning your simple sight into supernatural discernment. I am strengthening your spiritual resilience, turning your endurance into holy fortitude. And I am freeing you from attachments to things you once thought were vital for your survival, but have now become a dead weight, an anchor holding you back from the vast ocean of my purpose for you. This is the moment when you must elevate your comprehension, my cherished one. The guidance I am about to give you in the coming days and weeks will not be grasped or validated by the logic of those around you. If you are not prepared, if your ear is not tuned to my frequency alone, you will overlook my subtle but clear leading in favor of their well-intentioned but misguided opinions. I am not warning you to create a sense of dread within you. I am inviting you to an elevated standing, to a higher vantage point, so that when the subsequent assignment is presented to you, you are already prepared and in your rightful place. Prepare yourself not with the frantic energy of worry, but with the calm, deliberate focus of intentional surrender. For this is not just a passing word of encouragement. It is a holy directive for a reality that is already present, already unfolding, already upon you. You have learned to endure your pain in silence, to wear your strength like a suit of armor as a defense mechanism, and to carry your grief with a quiet, stoic resolve. You believe this was nobility. You believe this was strength. But my beloved one, I never, ever intended for you to confront any of this by relying solely on your own fortitude. I see how you have managed to keep going even when clarity was a distant memory. I see how you taught your facial muscles to form a smile even as your spirit trembled on the verge of collapse beneath the immense weight of unspoken anxieties and sorrows. You have borne this burden for far too long. But you must understand a critical spiritual principle. Strength that is never released into my care becomes a prison. Resilience without surrender calcifies into rigidity. I did not create you to navigate the complexities of this life through the lens of your own limited abilities. I never requested that you single-handedly solve every problem, that you push through every hardship by sheer force of will, or that you numb your own awareness simply to keep moving forward. That is a brutal falsehood propagated by a world that does not know me. That is the doctrine of lonely survival, not my reality of abundant life. I do not praise your self-reliant isolation. I am inviting you into the glorious freedom of dependence on me. Give me access, my child, not just to the neatly organized, presentable areas of your life that you are comfortable sharing, but to the innermost, chaotic chambers of your spirit. Open the door to the rooms where your feelings are overwhelming, where clarity is completely absent, and where the sorrow is too profound and too sacred to articulate in human words. You do not need to enter this next glorious stage of your journey carrying the dead weights of what has been. I am not like others who grow weary of your struggles or walk away when the path becomes difficult. I do not abandon my children. Your path never tires me, my child. Your questions do not weigh on me as a burden. I stay near, perpetually prompting you, gently nudging you to surrender your suffocating weights for my liberating calm. your frantic anxieties for my unshakable truth, your confused stillness for my clear, decisive teaching. You may have come to believe that strength means never asking for help, but I tell you, true, divine power lies in recognizing the precise moment to release what was never yours to manage in the first place. My beloved one, you were not designed to bear the cumulative weight of your past, your present, and your future all by yourself. I see how this internal heaviness is affecting your inner being, how it manifests in your physical frame as tension and exhaustion, and how it dims the very essence of your spirit. I speak this with the deepest care and a clear, urgent call. Let it go now, before its crushing weight consumes you entirely. I will not just watch you drop it. I will take it from you. I will bear this weight with you and for you. I will walk beside you in this process of release, and I will restore the parts of you that have become weakened from grasping so tightly to what was never meant for your grip. I am not a distant, passive observer while you struggle. I am an active, intervening God who arrives to set free, to heal, to bind up, and to bring divine order to chaos. I do not seek your perfect striving. I am not waiting for you to get it all right. I simply seek your permission, your simple, heartfelt yes, to step into your circumstances now before you are completely and utterly spent. You sense it, do you not? That subtle but undeniable change in the atmosphere, that sudden quickening deep within your soul, making all things feel sharper, more keenly felt, more intensely pressing. Your own thoughts are not deceiving you. That is the tangible effect of my presence stirring your deepest self to a fresh awareness it has not yet known. But the path I now call you to is not built on the shifting sands of passing sentiments or fleeting emotions. It is founded on the bedrock of solid, spiritual understanding. What is happening in the world and in your personal life right now cannot be grasped by a narrow, earthly vision or by the constraints of human logic. Invisible truths, spiritual realities, are active and at war within the framework of your daily existence. And if you do not begin to perceive them, if you do not learn to see with the eyes of your spirit, you will be perpetually surprised and overwhelmed by events you were meant to foresee and navigate with wisdom. This is why I speak with such earnestness, not from a place of anger, not from displeasure at your slowness, but from a heart of love that knows what is coming. The moment has arrived for you to fully comprehend what I am uncovering. I need you to discern the unseen essence of this time. I must tell you that certain pathways, certain doors of escape or transition, are about to be sealed permanently. If you delay your response to my prompting, you will overlook the sacred exit from situations and entanglements that I never, ever meant for you to remain within. Simultaneously, as these old doors close, I am about to reveal new, concealed ways for the paths of blessing, purpose, and divine appointment. Yet these new ways can only be perceived with inner sight, with a spirit attuned to my guidance, not through human schemes or logical deduction. The opposing force has masterfully cloaked pitfalls to look like golden opportunities, dressed up soul-draining diversions to appear as strategic alliances, and presented paralyzing postponements as simple, harmless wanderings. But if you draw near to me, if you steep yourself in my presence, I will refine your insight. I will cleanse the lens of your perception. This sharpened discernment will be your greatest asset. It will show you the exact, divine timing for remaining in a place or moving on, for speaking up or holding back your words in wisdom, and for engaging in a battle or maintaining your protected stance. But this crucial understanding starts now, and its activation begins with your total surrender. I cannot unveil profound, hidden wisdom to a heart that still tenaciously holds on to its familiar, comfortable habits and its cherished, limiting beliefs. I must first remove the cloud, the spiritual cataract that has dimmed your judgment. For what I am preparing to speak to you next will not be proclaimed loudly from a mountaintop. It will be breathed softly into the listening ear of a yielded spirit. If you fail to hear that quiet, pivotal word, you will miss the onward path entirely. I am not adding to your load with this message. I am seeking to rouse you from your slumber. This season will not allow for the luxury of constant pausing to wonder if a prompting is truly my instruction. You must come to recognize the timbre and tone of my voice so completely, so distinctly, that when I direct you to act, you respond with the instinct of a child who trusts their father's call implicitly. The spiritual flow of time is accelerating. What used to take long years to unfold now transpires in months or weeks, and what was once permitted as a tolerable weakness in your life can no longer coexist with the high calling I have placed upon you. I am in the process of distinguishing the authentic from the artificial in your life. I am separating the core from the copy, mere frantic motion from genuine, anointed progress. I am doing this so you will cease chasing after things that glitter but lack enduring, eternal value. I am revealing diversions that may even seem sacred or religious on the surface, but hold no actual guidance or anointing from me. I am drawing you to greater heights of purpose, profounder depths of understanding, and closer realms of intimacy with me. I will not permit your existence to remain superficial and earthbound when I have destined you for profound, supernatural experiences. I am elevating your insight so that you no longer make the dangerous assumption that every thought that enters your mind is your own, that every emotion you feel is a factual representation of reality, or that every delay you experience is a sign of my sovereign will. Not every hindrance comes from me, my child. Some are strategically placed obstacles meant to hold you captive in a cycle of frustration. But with the spiritual clarity I am giving you, you will finally discern when to stay put and when to break free, when to voice your conviction and when to be silent in strength, when to interact and when to hold your protected position. I will instruct you to perceive the hidden spiritual power, the unseen agenda behind every circumstance you face. For this is not simply daily existence. This is a spiritual struggle for your destiny. These are not random, chaotic occurrences. This is the unfolding of a deliberate, divine purpose. And the reason these moments are now so precious, so vital, is because critical divine connections and appointments are about to appear on your path. If you are not watchful, if your spirit is not alert and awake, you will overlook the very people and opportunities that were intended to completely reshape your journey for the better. This is a pressing, urgent call from the throne room of heaven to be mindful, to cease your aimless wandering, to silence the deafening noise of worldly distractions, and to recenter your attention fully on me. Thus, shake off your spiritual slumber. Willfully separate yourself from the old habits that dull your senses. Intentionally pull away from every influence, every voice, and every activity that lulls you into a state of passive complacency. It is absolutely imperative that you do not overlook what I am unveiling to you in this present, sacred moment. I have watched every moment of your journey, not with an eye of condemnation, but with the earnest, loving gaze of a father who yearns for his child's highest good. My cherished child, I am not a distant, detached observer, and I cannot permit this cycle of struggle and confusion to persist any longer. You have endlessly questioned why some of your most heartfelt prayers seem to go unanswered, why certain circumstances in your life feel like unending, painful loops, and why the breakthroughs you long for seem to remain perpetually just beyond your grasp. I must speak plainly now, because the origin of this stagnation is not a divine pause from my realm, but a subtle, strategic complication in your world. There are spiritual dynamics at play that you have not been aware of, but I have not arrived today to judge you for this. I have come with my power and authority to break the pattern. I desire to liberate you from the insidious internal whispers that hiss, "Wait," when I have already clearly declared, "Act." I wish to relieve you of the crushing weight of excessive thought and over-analysis that paralyzes your advancement. I aim to clear the dense layers of mental confusion and emotional obscurity that have been deliberately sown to divert your attention while sacred, once-in-a-lifetime opportunities slip away, completely unseen. I need to step in now, before you unknowingly forfeit what was meant to be yours already. I am making all things clear for you today. I am not urging you to rush forward in a panic. I am asking you to proceed with a newfound, divine understanding, and to achieve that, I must first release you from what has been effectively silencing my guidance in your life. I must quiet the internal and external clamor that causes you to doubt what I have already affirmed in your spirit. I am here to sever the bonds of distraction. I am silencing the murmurs of uncertainty that have cunningly persuaded you that the right moment is something for you to determine, when in reality, the timing has always been mine. What I spoke over your life, the promises I made to you, were not unclear. They were not dependent on a perfect set of external conditions. They were not intended for a far-off, distant future. They were meant to manifest in concert with your complete and active engagement. To truly join with me in this divine partnership, my child, you need to see clearly. And to see clearly, you must first be free. This freedom I am offering you today will not feel simple or effortless at first. It will require a conscious, deliberate act of letting go. I have brought a special, sanctified moment to your inner being today, my child. I am doing this so you do not carry the dust and doubts of yesterday into the glorious, good things that are waiting for you tomorrow. You have not missed your chance, but you are standing right at a vital, non-negotiable threshold. Now is the moment when you choose to listen to my voice above all others, or you continue to accept the paralysis of the pause. I cannot pour my fresh wine into old wineskins. I cannot pour my divine favor upon that which you are still clinging to from your past. My child, loosen your grip. Let your inner self become light again. Make your mind clear and uncluttered. I am calling you ahead, my beloved child, not to show you where you have fallen short, but to truly and profoundly liberate you. This is more than just advice. This is a divine decree of emancipation. I am not giving you extra time to prepare. I am giving you the permission and the power to step into your liberty right now. A powerful, palpable sense of divine immediacy is surrounding you, my cherished one. There is a precise, appointed window of opportunity that has been set apart for you, and it will not remain open indefinitely. You must know this in the very core of your being. These special seasons of accelerated access and divine favor from me are not endless. They are set with divine exactness. The path before you is narrowing, not as a signal of trouble or limitation, but to show you with unmistakable clarity that hesitation now carries a significant price when your true, divine purpose is calling. I have prepared blessings for you that were never meant for later. They are designated for this very season. There are divine encounters, spiritual gifts, holy assignments and peaceful alignments of your life that are completely contingent upon your response in this specific moment. If you continue to wait for things to feel easier, for the path to be perfectly clear, for all your fears to subside, you will find that the access point has been shut and the opportunity has passed. This message is not intended to frighten you, my child. It is the absolute, unvarnished truth, spoken from a heart of perfect love that desires your absolute best. I do not operate according to the timelines of human comfort, nor do I hold open sacred entrances while you ponder endlessly, paralyzed by fear or clinging stubbornly to old, comfortable habits. You have spoken your deep longing for change. You have wept in prayer for greater understanding. You have yearned with all your heart for a fresh start. Now, I am responding, but my reply comes in the form of a clear instruction that demands quick, responsive movement. I have already led specific people across your path to help you. I have given you clear, confirming words through various means. I have offered you undeniable confirmations in your spirit. I have even permitted certain disruptions and discomforts in your life, all with the divine purpose of guiding you to this exact place of decision. Nevertheless, you continue to grapple with the familiar, seductive inclination to pause. But I must say this with all clarity and love. This holding back has consequences. What I am now showing you and calling you towards requires a spirit of quickness. This is not a hurried, anxious rush, not a sudden, emotional impulse. It is a deep, settled readiness to move when I say move. This is not the type of readiness that postpones action until every single detail of the journey is understood, but rather the type of trust that moves forward confidently, even when only the initial form of the plan is perceived. This doorway of opportunity is intrinsically linked to internal transformations that will not wait for your complete sense of comfort. You are not meant to wait for a feeling of peace to arrive before you act. Instead, you are being called to a radical trust that creates a quiet, steadfast spirit within you as you go. Peace is not the prerequisite for your obedience. Peace is the product of your obedience. I am inviting you to cross certain thresholds that are only open to you right now, before the usual, mundane rhythm of life pulls your attention in 1,000 different directions, before old, destructive ways of thinking and behaving can take hold of you again, before the one who opposes me can build a convincing, misleading path designed to turn you away from your true, glorious journey. I am not telling you these things to cause you fear, my precious child. I am speaking them to awaken a powerful sense of immediate, holy intention within you. I see the immense weight you have carried. I see the persistent doubts that have clouded your mind like a thick fog. I see the deep, sacred longings of your heart that have not yet been met. A sacred, divine exchange is happening in the spiritual realm right now. My kingdom is giving, and you must be ready and positioned to receive. Some things I have for you will not simply appear by your patiently waiting. They will be brought forth and manifest through your brave, obedient steps of faith. You so often wonder, what if I am not ready? But you must understand, readiness is not a feeling, my child. It is a position you choose to take. It is a posture of your heart. It is not about being perfect or having all the answers. It is about being in the correct place at the correct time with me. And I have painstakingly brought you to this very place through every struggle you have endured, every quiet moment of reflection, every season of worry, every tear you have shed. Each of those experiences was a part of your shaping, not a random consequence of life. They were my tools for your preparation. Yet now, the intensive phase of readying concludes and the time has come to step ahead. This opportunity is not just for your own personal benefit, my beloved one. Your obedience will have ripple effects you cannot imagine. Do not dwell on your perceived limitations and weaknesses. Focus on the promises I have spoken over you. Do not measure your own finite power. Lean on my infinite, inexhaustible might. It is not my request that you comprehend the full scope and blueprint of the path ahead. I am simply and lovingly asking you to step across the line of faith that I am drawing before you right now. This very moment carries more eternal weight and significance than you can possibly imagine. A single, decisive step of immediate trust will reverberate into areas of your being and your future that you have not yet witnessed. If you turn away from this opening, if you choose the comfort of the familiar, you will continue on, of course. My love for you will not cease, but you will miss what I intended to use to profoundly and gloriously change the entire trajectory of your life. I want so much more for you than just surviving, than just getting by, my cherished one. I want you to move ahead into a life of thriving abundance and purpose. But this quick, divine progress comes only from moving forward in faith, not from putting things off, not from trying to negotiate the terms of your surrender, and not from allowing fear to masquerade as caution. This is my direct, personal hand intervening in your life. This is my clear, unmistakable voice speaking plainly above all the other distracting noises. The way in is still open, my child, but I must tell you, it will not be open for much longer. Move now. You have spoken quiet, whispered prayers in the dark, thinking that I did not hear them. You have looked up at the stars, thought about the dreams I placed in your heart long ago, weighed conversations you've had, and pleaded for a sign, any sign, that I was still leading you. My child, all this time, I have been giving them to you. It was I who stirred your inner self with a holy discontent when you felt complacent and lost. It was I who disturbed your rest at night with persistent thoughts and ideas that would not leave you alone. It was I who divinely orchestrated for that special message, that verse, that article, to be placed directly before your eyes precisely when you needed a glimmer of understanding. It was I who directed the fitting companion, the right friend, to share an insight with you that spoke to the very secrets you had never voiced to another soul. These were not accidents. They were not coincidences. They were my hidden promises, my trail of breadcrumbs in the wilderness. They were the clear, consistent signs of my presence, showing you that your path was still under my sovereign care. Still, I know your heart. I know it has kept searching for something clearer, something louder, something so undeniable that you could not possibly mistake it. So I am here now, not with gentle nudges this time, not with subtle hints, but with a plainness, a directness that asks for and commands your full attention. Let this be your sign. The present instant, as you read these words, in this very spot, serves as the definitive affirmation you have anticipated. You supposed that further external verification was necessary, but what you genuinely required all along was the deep, inner conviction that your spiritual perceptions, those quiet knowings, were not simply products of your imagination. I see how deeply you desire to honor me. I see how careful you are to avoid making mistakes. I see how you pause and hesitate because you desperately want my stamp of approval on every single step. And I value that deep, reverent care of your heart. Yet, I must tell you, this is no longer a time for overthinking. This is a time for moving forward with the quiet confidence that comes from knowing you have heard from me. My precious one, I speak this with profound and tender care. There is absolutely no need for you to seek any further confirmation of what I have already made abundantly evident to you. I have set the path before you. Your trust in the things I shared with you in the past, the seeds of destiny I planted in your heart, was not misplaced, my child. You simply perceived the final outcome before you could fully grasp the complex, intricate unfolding of my divine design. The signals were always present. You were simply being made ready to truly recognize their ultimate purpose. When a deep, forgotten warmth stirred within you again after a long winter of the soul, when a way forward that seemed impossible suddenly appeared to be open, when your inner self began to resonate and respond to a dream you thought was dead and buried, those are moments where my direct, personal communications to you. Let this be your absolute certainty. I am not the author of confusion. My beloved, I am never silent when those I cherish truly and earnestly seek my presence. What you are sensing in your spirit right now is not disquiet or anxiety. It is a divine awakening. Your innermost being, the part of you that is perfectly connected to me, recognizes that I am here. Your deepest spiritual awareness confirms that this message is from me. Even so, because I am a good father, I am giving you this precise moment to establish everything firmly, to set it in stone within your heart. This certainty is not built on the shifting sands of your passing emotions, but on the unshakable rock of my eternal truth. You do not need another prophecy from another person. This is the time I have chosen to speak to you directly, with no one in between. You do not need to seek the agreement or approval of others. The clear, resonant knowing is already present within your own spirit. I am not asking you to deliberate any further. I am giving you complete, divine certainty. The course before you may lack ease, but it will be saturated with my grace. The path may not feel effortless, but it will be powerfully protected by my nearness. You were not overlooked. You were not forgotten. You were not deceived when you believed you saw the faint, shimmering hints of my promise on the horizon. My child, you could not possibly have envisioned the divine precision of this very time. The period for deliberation is over. The season for movement has arrived. You searched for me and I have answered. You called out to me and I have approached. You held firm in your faith and now I confirm it. The direction before you is now unmistakable. Accept it, depend on it, act on it. I am providing you with this deep, internal assurance so that you will never have to wonder later, in a moment of weakness or doubt, if this call truly originated from me, my precious child. I am anchoring this knowing so deeply within your spirit that it becomes a part of your very spiritual not just a fleeting thought in your intellect. The clear perception you have right now is not a temporary high. It arises from a source beyond the ordinary, from my spirit to yours. This certainty possesses the divine power to dismantle every deception that has urged you to stay hidden in the shadows, to avoid venturing forth into the unknown, to keep your God-given voice silent. It removes every wavering, back and forth thought that was born of doubt, and it restores vibrant energy to the parts of you that you believed were lost to weariness forever. I have made this firm. Now, I command you, with all the love in my being, to move forward with it. You may have felt that I had ceased speaking to you, my child. Yet the profound truth is that I have only deepened my communication. You might think you are missing my direction, but I have been making my will resonate in ways that extend far beyond mere words. That persistent, unshakable restlessness that remains within your heart even in moments of quiet. That is me, seeking your undivided attention. The roads that you wanted to take that suddenly became impassable, the doors that slammed shut in your face. Me beloved, it was I who shut those routes before they could inflict a deeper injury upon you. The conversations that deeply disturbed your calm, the sudden understandings that stirred your innermost self from its slumber, the holy agitation that keeps you from finding any lasting rest in places you once found immense comfort. All of this is from me. I am not hidden. I am not speaking faintly. I am making my presence and my will felt with great and undeniable power throughout the very fabric and structure of your daily life. You no longer need to strain your ears to perceive my voice. Instead, you need to open your spiritual awareness, my cherished child. I am communicating within the very intensity you feel. I am speaking in the purposeful interruptions that prevent you from continuing on your old path as if nothing significant is shifting. I am surrounding you with clear, repeating signals, with recurring patterns that consistently and relentlessly guide you toward the same singular truth. I have amplified my message through the voices of people who are completely unaware that they are echoing the very words and desires I have placed within your own heart for some time. I have made my voice unmistakable in the sudden, unexpected endings of certain chapters that caused you to reevaluate everything you thought you knew. I have spoken my truth through unexpected new routes, through a deep internal agitation, and through a profound, holy restlessness, all designed by my loving hand to awaken the parts of you that had grown still and dormant. I am not restraining myself, my beloved one. I am being lovingly, divinely unwavering, and I need you to stop seeking me only in the gentle whispers and the soft, comfortable assurances. I am also the God who brings forth the great sound of the rushing wind, the God who shifts what needs to be shifted, so that only what is stable, true, and enduring remains. I am stirring a deep, primal awareness within you because the spiritual climate has irrevocably altered, and your posture must now reflect this new reality. My voice is not simply echoing through your favorite songs and sermons, my child. It is intricately interwoven into the moments you have quickly dismissed as coincidental, the vivid dream that stirred you from your deepest rest, the precise, uncanny alignment of events that felt too specific, too personal, to be mere chance, the palpable change in the very atmosphere of a room when you entered a certain place or spoke with a certain person. That was me, communicating with unmistakable divine purpose. I have been gentle with you for a long season, but now, I am being powerfully persuasive. I am not hidden. I am not testing your ability to hear me, my beloved child. I am demonstrating the incredible lengths to which I will go to ensure that you do not miss this vital, life-altering period. I cannot, and I will not, allow you to settle for mere fragments of your destiny when I have prepared a full, abundant experience for you. This is why the intensity is increasing, why the significance of each day feels deeper, why the very atmosphere around you has become filled with a sense of urgent knowing. This is not confusion, my child. It is a deep, divine stirring. The signals will only become more evident, more powerful, and more infrequent until you respond, until you fully surrender, until you move from a position of passively observing your life to fully and actively participating in the adventure I have set before you. Do not ask me to reduce the intensity of this moment when the very purpose of this time is to elevate your involvement and commitment. I am not seeking to overwhelm you, my cherished child. I am seeking to ignite a holy fire within you. For it is the strong winds that truly capture one's attention. It is the powerful currents that can redirect the course of a great ship. It is the mighty sounds that quiet all the lesser noises that distract and deceive. I am not speaking with this force to command you like a slave. I am speaking with this force to empower you like a son or daughter for a specific, holy intention. And my voice is not merely offering you a gentle invitation. It is propelling you forward. It is propelling you beyond your familiar patterns of thought and behavior. It is propelling you into new dimensions of spiritual understanding. It is propelling you away from the chains of hesitation and into an unshakable, God-given confidence. You no longer need to question if this powerful stirring originates from me, my child. Everything within you and everything around you is affirming that it does, and so am I. You have been carrying a heavy, internal weight, my beloved. It is one that is unseen by the world, yet it has been quietly, steadily, and tirelessly reducing your inner strength, your joy, and your hope. That deep, inexplicable sense of heaviness that you cannot articulate in words. The gnawing tension that disturbs your sleep and leaves you weary upon waking. The inner tightness and constriction that remains with you even in moments of supposed stillness and rest. I must tell you what this is. This is not just ill fortune. This is not an indication of my divine disapproval. This is certainly not a hidden penalty for your previous errors or shortcomings. It is my spirit, my very essence, reaching out for your spirit, my precious child. It is my love calling you, inviting you to rise up, to shift your position, to claim the true, authentic path I designed for you from eternity past. You are not sinking under a curse. You are being called forward into a blessing. This feeling is not an attack from an opponent. This is my clear, unmistakable direction, a mark of my active will in your life. I am the one who is disturbing what you have mastered on your own. I am the one who is shifting what has become all too familiar and comfortable. I am the one who is unsettling the very basis of your former habits and securities, intentionally preventing you from finding rest upon any foundation that was not intended for permanence. I will not let you settle for a life that dulls your inner light and mutes your spiritual senses. And so now, I am placing a sacred weight upon you, my child. This is not a weight to dim your hope, but a weight designed to ignite it. I am planting within your spirit a deep, profound urgency, one so strong, so clear, so utterly undeniable that you can no longer pretend to be content with staying as you are. This weight is not holding you back. This weight is propelling you ahead. You are being pulled into a divine alignment, my beloved, and the discomfort you sense is the friction of your spirit being released from all that has slowed its journey and kept it bound to the earth. This is my hand shaping you, not just from the outside by altering your circumstances, but from the very inside by transforming your core desires and perspectives. For this time, I am not just changing your location, I am transforming your very constitution. And I tell you this truth, my child, this very challenge, this unsettling weight, is my gentle, loving guidance upon your life. I did not send you ease, for ease would have kept you stagnant. I sent a power that changes, that sanctifies, that purifies. This power brings with it a piercing clarity. This power uncovers hidden truths. This power purifies your motives and desires. I am using this deep, internal feeling to help you finally understand the critical importance of this season. My request is not for you to simply sustain this burden indefinitely. I am asking you to see its real purpose. It is not a sign for you to retreat into your shell. It is a clear, divine summons for you to advance into your calling. You have been faithful and diligent in the smaller roles and assignments I have given you, my beloved one. But now, your current situation is demanding an expansion of your faith, your trust, and your capacity. And with this divine expansion comes the necessary growing pains of closer fellowship with me. This is not meant to cause you pain for pain's sake, but to move you forward into greater things. I am in the midst of it all, perfecting you, broadening you, and stirring into vibrant activity those areas of your being that have been silent and dormant for far too long. Do not misinterpret this difficult time, my child. Do not look at the shaking and think this is a conclusion, an ending. No, this is a profound new beginning. I am leading you from the stagnant pond of what is known into a strong, flowing river of my divine intention, a path that you cannot simply stumble upon by accident. You do not need to feel capable for this journey. You only need to be willing. Let the burden you feel bring you not to a place of defeat, but to a place of humble, desperate yielding. For it is in the soil of your deepest surrender that I reveal my greatest power. You do not need to know every step of the way. You only need to answer the call for the first step. Do not dismiss this inner call as mere anxiety. Do not try to avoid the discomfort it brings. Do not attempt to quiet it with distractions. Everything I give, even discomfort, has a clear and holy purpose. This is your time to declare your willingness to follow me, even without seeing the final destination. This is your chance to speak your yes out loud, to overcome the voice of doubt, to let go of all your reservations and holding back, and to finally heed the distinct, powerful sound of my voice. Not because the path will be simple, but because my call is unmistakable. You have sought my words and I have spoken, but there is more. Things are unfolding in the unseen realm, beyond your current sight, and I will not let you remain uninformed and vulnerable. Misleading and malevolent forces have been diligently laying hidden snares for you, not in the open fields of obvious conflict, but in the quiet, unguarded moments of your everyday life. Because I hold you with an unwavering, fierce, and protective love, I am now pulling back the curtain to reveal what was once concealed. I will no longer allow you to be caught off guard by subtle influences that appear good and helpful on the surface, but secretly oppose your true, God-given path. There have been conversations about you that happened without your knowledge. There have been arrangements made by others that were against your ultimate best interest. There have been false ideas and limiting beliefs sown into your mind while you were at peace and unsuspecting. There have been distractions that appeared as wonderful benefits or opportunities. All of these things were meticulously designed with a single purpose: to cloud your judgment, to slow your spiritual progress, and to divert you from the specific, anointed way I have prepared for you. I have seen every concealed scheme. I have watched every hidden arrangement being made. I have heard every word spoken in secret that was meant to make you question your identity, your worth, and your calling. And now, I am bringing it all into the brilliant, cleansing light of my truth. I am doing this not to condemn you for being unaware, but to safeguard you for your future. You have been doubting yourself, thinking that perhaps you were the problem. You have wondered if perhaps your prayers were not strong enough, if perhaps your faith was too weak. But no, my beloved one, you must hear me now. It was not you. It was a spiritual battle being waged for the territory of your destiny. I am showing you this now because the victory I am bringing into your life requires you to clearly identify the real challenge, the true source of your struggle. I will show you, with gentle but undeniable clarity, what has been draining your energy, what has been wasting your precious time, and what has been obscuring your spiritual clarity. I will uncover every false link, every misleading word, every subtle compromise you made that unknowingly cost you your inner peace. I am doing this from a place of deep, restorative care, not from a desire to judge or shame. I cannot let you continue to build your future on foundations and supports that have been quietly crumbling beneath you. This revelation is my divine shield of protection for you. In the coming days, I am going to bring to light certain discussions, hidden aims, and secret reasons, not to provoke your anger or bitterness, but to grant you absolute liberty. You will no longer waste your strength, your focus, and your prayers on what does not belong in your next chapter. I will make it so clear that you will not be able to miss it. I will illuminate what has sought for so long to stay hidden in the shadows. I am revealing these truths to you now because I need your confidence to be placed entirely in what is genuine, what is from me, and not in what is false and fleeting. As a result of this revelation, certain bonds and relationships in your life will suddenly and inexplicably change. Some opportunities that seemed promising will vanish into thin air. Some doors where you once felt welcome will quietly close. Do not fight this process. Do not chase after what is leaving. Do not beg for the return of what I am sovereignly taking away. I am meticulously dismantling the very distractions that seemed helpful, but were actually cunningly disguised obstacles. I am bringing to light the heavy, invisible weights you have been carrying that were never intended for you to bear. When these burdens are finally gone, you will understand with perfect clarity why this recent season has felt so incredibly heavy. This is not a punishment, my cherished one. This is a divine, precise alignment. I am clearing away everything and everyone that cannot enter the new place I am guiding you to. I am pulling out the toxic roots of things that were meant to subtly and gently draw you back into your past. You may even begin to sense an unease in your daily habits and routines, my child, for I am making you keenly aware of the unseen spiritual forces that have shaped them. This is not merely about changing what you do on the outside. It is about a profound, fundamental shift in how you perceive your entire world. Such a transformation requires a deep, supernatural knowing that only I can unveil. The truths I am bringing forth will reshape your words, your communion with me, your relationships, and your place in the world. I am granting you an understanding that you did not even know to ask for this is the very nature of my proactive affection. My love brings things to light long before any lasting hurt can take root. I care for you far too deeply to allow you to unknowingly step into a peril that appears to be a chance for good. I'm not simply dismantling what stands against you. I am enlightening you so that those old, destructive ways can never again regain power over you. This process of uncovering will likely bring with it some sadness, a profound sense of clarity, and finally, a glorious liberation. You are being released from things that held sway over you without your conscious knowledge. Soon, you will see with the sharp vision of your spirit what your physical eyes could not possibly grasp. Do not be troubled when I lift the veil. Instead, find joy and relief in it, my precious one, for what I reveal, I also make whole. What I bring to your awareness, I also bring back into its right and proper state. And what I draw out into the open, I guard with my own omnipotent presence. Remain close to me. Keep your heart soft and open and be ready to let go of what I show you. I am showing you what has been right before you yet remained unseen, because I cannot fully bless the parts of your life that you are unaware of. I will not let you move towards your triumph while still being burdened by hidden, unresolved limitations. I have watched the subtle, venomous doubts enter your mind, whispering the lie that no one truly comprehends you, that no one genuinely sees the real you, that no one authentically cares. You have stood in the middle of a crowd and still felt completely invisible. You have voiced your deepest thoughts and most vulnerable feelings, only to have them met with a quiet, empty silence. You have wept in solitude, yearning for a solace, a comfort that did not come in the way you hoped it would. During those long, lonely times, a mistaken and dangerous idea started to root itself deep within the soil of your heart. The idea that you were left behind, unseen, unremembered, and ultimately alone. But my beloved, I must use my truth to break apart that insidious, untrue thought today with a power that will not waver. You have never been by yourself, not for a single fleeting instant. While you may have felt profoundly cut off and isolated in your spirit, my encompassing closeness never once departed from you. As you wrestled in the silence of your own mind, I was upholding you with my strength, without you even knowing it. When you breathed out your incomplete, fragmented requests, I was already shaping and preparing the comprehensive response. I do not move back when your suffering grows deeper. I come nearer. Your human awareness, clouded by pain and disappointment, might not perceive me in the same way it did during times of great joy or profound calm. But my nearness to you is not in any way shaped or dictated by your fluctuating emotions. It is held firm and fast by the unbreakable bedrock of my word. I gave my sacred pledge to always be with you and to never, ever forsake you. And I do not go back on what I have said, not even when you feel utterly and completely shattered. I know that you have been doubting all things lithely, your reason for being, your intrinsic value, even your own strength to go on for another day. Yet even as you were doubting me, I was enveloping you in my unwavering favor. You were led to believe that your silence, your inability to pray, created a vast distance between us. But in truth, my child, it drew me even closer. I have been speaking to you in the still, small moments. I have been walking right next to you when you felt the most overlooked. I have been gathering every unspoken breath, every silent tear, as a precious offering. You might have thought my quietness in this season meant I was far away, but a more profound and intricate work was taking place. I was waiting for the deafening clamor of your own thoughts and the world's noise to finally lessen, so that you could once more perceive the gentle, steady rhythm of my heart. And true, authentic yielding starts precisely when your inner world begins to tremble. You are not becoming unsteady, my beloved one. You are being divinely guided into a fresh, new order. The deep discomfort you feel is the evidence that I am actively removing what has taken root in your spirit without my divine approval. This disruption that I am permitting in your life is born of my profound, eternal concern for you. I would choose to disrupt your momentary, fragile peace rather than permit you to bypass the lasting, glorious course I have set for you. I am intentionally causing what was once familiar and comfortable to now feel strange and foreign. The ground beneath your feet is not giving way and collapsing. It is being made clear for a new foundation. I am looking closely at what is hidden deep within you, bringing forth what needs to be made right, and showing you with loving clarity what must be let go of for good. The established patterns of your life, the connections and relationships you cherish, even the hopes and dreams you hold dear that now seem burdened and uncertain, none of these are being stripped away from you cruelly. I am simply assessing their spiritual strength and integrity. Anything in your life that cannot hold steady through this divine shaking is not firm enough to bear the weight of the glorious path that lies before you. And I love you too much to allow you to build a future on a life that is not meant to endure the tests to come. You have viewed this inner shaking as a sign of your own weakness, but I tell you, it is the rising of genuine, divine strength. I am fortifying your deepest self as I remove the things that only gave you an illusion of security. I am guiding your spirit to learn to rely solely and completely on me, instead of on what is merely familiar. The deep unrest within your heart is not something to be silenced or ignored. It is something to be listened to intently. That nagging feeling that something is just not right is no accident. It is my divine discernment stirring and awakening within you. I am refining your capacity to know, deep in your spirit, what is not true, what is not of me. You sought clarity, and now I am granting you something far more valuable, a profound spiritual perception. This means that things which once felt right and comfortable will now feel misaligned and discordant. You are not losing your inner peace, my child. You are simply growing beyond the boundaries of your past. You are not being corrected through harsh punishment. You are being lovingly called forward into a greater reality. And at times, I must allow the very earth beneath you to shift. compelling you to discontinue building on any ground that I have not personally affirmed. Do not be afraid of this holy shifting. Do not run back to what is crumbling and falling away. Do not attempt to repair and patch up what I am actively taking apart. Let it fall. Let it transform. Let me replace it with something new, something eternal. For what I put in place will last, and what I make solid will remain unshaken forever. I am the one causing this divine disturbance, because my love for you is too vast, too powerful to let you remain in a place that will surely collapse. You ask me to guide you deeper. This is what that path feels like at the beginning. Now, navigate this disturbance with the confident knowledge that I am the one unsettling the very foundation upon which you stand, not to bring you suffering, but to make you steadfast, unshakable, and ready for all I have in store. My child, you have remained with me until this final moment, and your devoted, focused attention to this message honors me deeply. Your spirit has recognized the resonant ring of truth that I have unveiled within these words. For I do not speak to confuse or to burden you, but to clarify your path and to call you forward into your destiny. The season I have brought you into now is not one for hesitation, my beloved. It is a time for decisive, unwavering trust. For the path I have prepared for you requires a swiftness of spirit, an agile heart ready to respond to my leading. The specific, sacred access I have opened for you will not remain available indefinitely. I have already released everything you need for this next step, and the blessings I have intended for you are for this very hour, this appointed season, not for a distant, uncertain tomorrow. Do not forfeit what is already waiting for you by delaying your response. This is my clear, loving, and urgent call for you to step into the fullness of the life I have designated for you. I ask you now to express your heart's deep agreement with this message. Let this truth resonate again and again within your innermost being, confirming the divine certainty I have anchored there. Your active engagement and your yes to me strengthens this sacred work, not only in your own life, but also allowing my voice to flow through you to reach others who are desperately searching for this same truth and liberation from their own unseen burdens. As one of my faithful ones, you are a vital part of a greater purpose, a divine flow of my presence in the world. Return to me for deeper understanding, my cherished one. Continue to seek my voice. Receive the next message I have already prepared for you, for I have so much more to reveal to you concerning your incredible journey and the beautiful, intricate unfolding of my perfect design for your life.